Mr. Speaker, Manitoba Liberals have revealed in the last 2 weeks that far too many children who are in care do not complete high school. And for children in care in group homes, far too many are not even going to school. Not going to school is a sign of poor stewardship by their guardian, in this case the NDP government. Even worse, far too many children in care end up in Manitoba's youth correctional centres, which are essentially jails for youth. I asked the Minister of Justice, what proportion of children in the Manitoba Youth Centre are children who are in care or who have been in care?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We know many children that are in care are not there for no reason. Unfortunately, they're there because of neglect by their parents. They're there because of abuse by their parents. They're there because of limitations, because of the families they come from. And certainly when children come into the Manitoba Youth Centre, Agassiz Youth Centre, there's an entire range of services provided. And of course, the members should know that every child at MYC goes to school 12 months of the year.
Mr. Speaker, the minister was not able to answer my question. You know, the Auditor General has called repeatedly on the government to report performance outcomes, but it isn't.
No, he can't.
The Premier's government has guardianship of all these children, but has no idea whether their stewardship is getting better or worse. In talking to people who help inner-city youth, I've learned that there are youth who have never had gang involvement before, but when they're sent to a Manitoba Youth Correctional Centre, like the Manitoba Youth Centre, they meet gang members and then they get involved in gangs. I asked the minister, how many children with no evidence of previous gang involvement are sent to the Manitoba Youth Centre and subsequently become involved in gangs?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I'll repeat what I said before, that when youth come into the Manitoba Youth Centre, the Agassiz Youth Centre, they're there for a reason. They're there because they've committed a crime which has posed a danger to themselves, to others in our community. And under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, when an individual is sent into a correctional centre, they're given the best available care to try and deal with their issues. And again, the first question that the member asked was about education. And as I've repeated, there are educational opportunities in our correctional centres. And again, those schools don't run a few months of the year. Those schools run 12 months of the year. And I can tell this House that individuals have actually graduated from high school. They've been put in routines. They've been able to get capacity, which then provides them with a better opportunity when they return to our communities. Right. The Youth Criminal Justice Act, of course, tells us that every youth who is sentenced has to spend a portion of their sentence in the community. It'd be better if the member for River Heights would actually support the work of our probation services, support the work of our schools.
Please, the minister's time has expired.
Mr. Speaker, the minister is running the province's youth correctional centres, which under his watch sadly have become a farm team for gangs. Mr. Speaker, a special report from the Children's Advocate's Office says that detention at a youth criminal justice facility like the Manitoba Youth Centre, and I quote, is most disruptive to the continuity of helpful services for youth. Whatever good the services may have doing is often stamped out by halting them when the youth are in the justice system. I asked the Premier and I asked the Minister, when will he recognize that troubled youth need to go to a place where the past traumas are addressed and the youth learn good behaviour instead of being sent to a farm team for gangs?
Well, you know, the individuals working the correctional system will be very, very distressed by the kind of comments the member for River Heights has just put on the record, who's criticizing those who are working with some of our most disadvantaged youth. I will talk about outcomes, Mr. Speaker. Now, soon there will be a report issued on crime and violent crime in Canada, and I expect that report will actually have a very, very good story to tell. I will point out the Winnipeg Police Service has provided its crime stat statistics, and this year over last, what does it tell us in Winnipeg? Well, homicides down 28%, sexual assaults down 17%, commercial robberies down 26%, non-commercial robberies down 36%, commercial break-and enters down 46%, residential break-and enters down 16%, other break-and enters down 12%, attempted motor vehicle theft down 8%, actual motor vehicle theft down 3%, total crime in Winnipeg down 20%.
Order, please. The minister's time has expired.